As the regular season winds down, things are starting to heat up, like Josh Jacobs' total yards or the U.S. in this year's World Cup. Unlike our Scott Fishbowl teams and our best ball advance rates, there is still some uncertainty in this week's slate. Joe Cool at QB, maybe some Browns, the right cheapy wide receiver. Can a Tuttle's terrible take be found? No worries at all, and never fear, for it's time. Dehember is near. The Swolecast Week 13, presented by RotoGrinders, is here.
Please don't dupe me, bro.
I'm begging you, don't dupe me, bro.
It's the poop narrative.
Kitchen's been waiting to say those words.
No.
For 5 years.
What's up, and welcome everyone to the Swolecast here at RotoGrinders.com. David Kitchen, as you can see by my lower third, alongside Peter Overzet, Davis Mattek, and Mr. Total 05, Dan Gaspar. Guys, how's it going?
Great day. Beautiful day to be alive.
Proud to be an American.
Yeah?
That's all I can
That's
say.
right. That's right. Davis, how thrilled were you at the World Cup victory yesterday?
I was very happy. I mean, my stance has always been not a huge fan of the U.S. men's team. I don't like the way our country develops their young soccer players compared to other countries, but you can't argue, like, it's net good for the sport and net good for me personally in terms of like getting more action and more attention paid to soccer for the U.S. men to be doing well. Like whatever whatever the prize pool for the GPPs would have been on Saturday is going to pump that up 20-25% because
That's
the U.S.
true.
is in it.
Tuttle, you got Pulisic in the background. How are you feeling? Were you pumped up? Were you watching it with the boys yesterday, or
Watching it with the boys?
You know, I'm just
his own kids?
like I said, I'm proud to be American.
That's right.
You know, I'm a huge USA supporter in all things. Always have been. So it's lovely to see, you know, Pulisic, Captain America, get it done for the team.
And they actually, I mean, like what good draw too. Like they instead of getting matched up against like France or Argentina or something, like it's a spot where like they're underdogs, but it wouldn't like be like the shock of the century if they won.
Tuttle, you had a great tweet yesterday talking about you and the wife supporting.
I had to delete it because it got Soccer Dave level of action. That video, that TikTok is hilarious.
One bot replies, 0 retweets, 4 faves. Is the
I only got 3 likes, and I just was ashamed.
He got 3 likes. I almost liked it, and then I was like, no, I'm not going. If I like it, it's going to feel like I'm like negging him. Like I'm liking it hours later to make fun. And I really did think it was good. What's your threshold for deleting a tweet that doesn't get enough action, Tuttle?
I don't know. I keep the timeline pretty clean.
Yeah.
Which isn't a good way to gain followers or anything like that. I just you know, my Twitter. You're asking the wrong guy. My Twitter game has not been very good lately.
Speaking of Twitter games, Peter, how are you and your Twitter game right now?
And Jizz Nation?
I'm down bad right now because the document that I wrote my Overzet's overview in didn't save, and now I'm without a script for Overzet's overview, and I'm tilting because I spent 20 minutes on it this morning, and I don't have it, guys.
If it makes you feel any better,
I was like looking forward to that, Peter. I'm bummed out.
I was too.
I'm the Phillip Rivers gif right now.
Where did you write it in Google Docs? Because you can view the history.
Do you want to trust me, Dave? I know about that. Do you want to know how the actual sausage gets made?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Like what?
You know that
Of course, people know me.
App?
Yes, I know all the apps.
So
don't worry.
So I have a file on my desktop that's a notepad app, and it just is the Swolecast, and that's where I write the cold opens in there, and then I save it. And for some reason I forgot to save it, and when I opened it up again, it was last week. So I can do last week's cold open again. I'm very upset right now. So
I'd be
That's
upset
upsetting.
too.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, though, I wrote my fire intro as a response to your Overzet overview. So at least
I
we
was
have
impressed.
that.
When you were doing that, I was saying, thankfully, someone is finally putting in some prep work for this show along with me here. God, I'm so fucking pissed right now. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I know how that feels. But this is what happens when you do save work in the cloud. So just really learn from it. Producer Sosa clipping last week and using that. Actually, it was on Monday, but still, he's putting in the time, putting in the effort. So shout out to him. Tuttle had a take last week of Josh Jacobs, and Davis just immediately said he got triggered, oohed him, and then Josh Jacobs just goes for 300 all-purpose yards and just
39 touches. I mean,
he's losing third down work though. He's losing third down work. Can't play him.
I mean, it's pretty par for the course at this time. Ew,
gross.
My kids loved that video.
This show is so evergreen, and that's what matters. People are enjoying this late on Sunday morning.
I am triggered right now, Tuttle.
Just say a little prayer, get your money, man. Like goes on. Yes, I am hopeful.
On FanDuel.
I just want the record to show I was barely hating in that clip. I think Davis.
Me too.
Barely hating.
He was barely hating.
Me too. I was barely hating too. We do have the week 13 slate. We got some injuries to talk about. You know what, Peter? Instead of doing your overset,
who's hurt, Dave? Dave, who's hurt? Why don't you lead us in with some information on some guys who might be banged up?
We got some running backs. We got some Jets. We got to talk about. You know.
Oh, Michael Carter. No one has led to me having less fun staying poor than James Robinson being a healthy scratch last week. What an absolute nightmare.
Okay, here's the thing though. The fish sucked out from him getting injured, because then they can just like dismiss it as, it wasn't that bad of a play.
No, it was an egregious play. In any circumstance. He was splitting time with Ty Johnson and Zonovan Knight before he got hurt, and it also led me to playing Treylon Burks over Garrett Wilson. Just all kinds of absolutely unforgivable stuff. I did
the Wilson thing. I got off Wilson with you, so
F minus effort from me in week 12.
I got a DM about 20 minutes ago from a guy who was legitimately pissed off that on SiriusXM today that I didn't know that Donovan's nickname was Bam. And he said it really takes away from my credibility as an analyst. Because someone called in and said, "What do you think of Bam Knight?" And I was like, "Oh, Donovan Knight." I hadn't heard the Bam nickname.
His name's
not Donovan either.
Zonovan. God damn it! There goes all my credibility.
It's gonna be like
Gardner sauce.
I was gonna say it's gonna be like when you guys mixed up Chauncey Gardner and Sauce Gardner.
He's gonna be out this week versus the Titans. All right. Well, instead of doing the Overzet overview this week, let's just do a live reading of Davis's Monday morning takeaways that he does each and every week.
Holka told me not to do them anymore. He said it was wasted effort because engagement is way down on fantasy stuff until the playoffs start.
I think he just wants less competition in his tweets.
Yeah. Ooh, that's what I would tell someone who selling a competing product next to my storefront.
Well, I'm not selling a product. I mean, two weeks ago, I did Tilt Space with Pete, and Holka was like, "Yeah, dude, don't do this. You're just wasting time."
Well, you haven't done it in 3 weeks, so
3 weeks ago. But the fantasy playoffs are about to start, so I'll probably start back next week.
You got John Hansen, though.
Here's the real telling. Does Holka do it?
No.
Let's see if
Holka
has
does
cut down on his fantasy threads or not.
Holka does the single game, like he does island game prop bet threads to get the affiliate links. See, I'm not even shilling affiliate links, so I'm way behind the curve.
Who's even doing threads? Justin Freeman's been doing threads lately. Is he the only torchbearer for threads on fantasy Twitter?
This seems like a bad take. Davis had solid engagement on
Vetri still doing them. You got John Hansen to sub to you.
Yep.
Davis, I publicly said that I was proud of you.
John Hansen?
Scott
Hansen.
To catch a predator,
really diminishing your credibility as a host with that
it's
one,
the bit. But I said that it was the best, like the most work he's ever put into something. I do want to give credit to Davis because it lasted longer than Keep an Eye Out On and Tuttle's vlog series.
My vlog. To be fair, I had a good reason to stop the vlog. I couldn't just keep
losing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to go too in depth there.
Here, does someone want to give an overview, or do we just want to do quarterback?
No, we've got the Overzet's overview right now. It'd be even better without the script.
Overzet's overview.
We had to do it just because Rob made a new intro for it. The props were back. Thank you, Rob. I did notice that nice touch in there. I'll just give you what I'll do is I'll give you the overview, and then I'll also just tell you some of the jokes that that I had in there. So it's actually a pretty good main slate this week. 3 games with a total over 50. You also have Cleveland that has one of the highest implied team totals on the slate, except we have to root for Deshaun Watson. I guess we don't have to root for him. I think you play Dameon Pierce is how you own Deshaun Watson this week is my read on it. I was going to recap some stuff about soccer. I saw Davis had a tweet about a long shot guy to score a goal as a header. And then someone said his odds just to score period were just about the same. So I've appreciated Davis's galaxy brain bets. I saw that
buddy.
But Michael Salfito went viral for saying that Jalen Hurts isn't a quarterback. He's still tweeting like he's a fucking 1930s NFL pundit. So shout out to Salfito there with the archaic takes. What other stuff did I have in there? Oh, I wanted to talk about the you know how Mike McDaniel right now, everyone's just circulating clips. And my take right now is I like Mike McDaniel, but I feel like he's veering into Zooey Deschanel territory where it's almost too cute, too quirky. Like it's quirky overload and people just love it. And I'm almost sick of it, guys. I'm almost sick of Mike McDaniel, even though I should like him.
We don't need Zoomer head coaches yet.
He's not doing like some of the clips. He's not doing it on purpose. Like when he's like clock.
Yeah, Zooey Deschanel isn't being like, quirky on purpose either. But it's just like it's self-perpetuating, and then people like obviously when you get positive feedback, you're more likely to do that behavior. So now he's much like me drafting Sammy Watkins on my honeymoon. It is reinforced behavior.
I don't buy that he's doing that on the sideline as a bit during the game.
But look, and what happens when we kind of glorify some of these coaches? Remember was it McVay who could remember all of the plays and stuff? I mean, just be careful putting these guys.
He's turned into such a donkey from what we thought he was.
Exactly.
Well, remember the first year Matt Nagy with the Bears? We crowned him, and then after that, it didn't turn out either. So, I mean, it's really the guys that we thought were donks that are now the coaches you want to have on your team, like
Geno Smith or Pete Carroll, man. He's now our
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll sticking it to the nerds and being like, everyone said I ran the ball too much. Amazing stuff. I mean, really, absolutely gotta hand it to him. You love when you get to see someone own the libs. The best head coach in the NFL is? It's Andy Reid, baby. No, Andy Reid. Although Vrabel, I don't know if I've told this to you directly. Vrabel seems like a guy I would hate, right? Like old school, gritty. I actually love Mike Vrabel. I think Vrabel is a fantastic coach, and I think he's got. I think the fusion of like that organization and him and everything. I mean, it's pretty perfect. I mean, they'll obviously never win a Super Bowl, but still.
Kind of like this show. We're never winning any big awards. The information, the talent is mediocre at best, but the chemistry and the culture is peak level. So with that being said,
Kitchen, that jogs my memory of another thing that was in the Overzet's overview. I thought that your silence was deafening on the big dog fumbling on what should have just been a home run touchdown play. A guy that you hated and that you faded, Traylon Burks, had to come in and save Derrick Henry's ass on a brutal fumble. And I kept waiting for your statement, Kitchen, and we didn't get it.
I was driving back from Kentucky, listening to it on the radio, and I'm not going to be tweeting and driving. But I would like to say that my highest owned player in best ball is Traylon Burks.
It's not Robert Woods. I thought you capitulated at the end.
Did you do 6 drafts? So what does highest owned even mean, Kitchen?
I did like over 50 drafts. I do want to say, though, Peter and I saw the top 500. Peter and I tied for a number of teams in the top 500 on Underdog.
With 0?
With 0. And then Davis, you actually had 1.
Yeah, because I drafted a bunch of Travis Kelce. That's literally it. Travis Kelce, I've got like 15%. That's the only reason I have good teams. I have none of the league winners right now, so I'm probably not going to win the stupid $1 million.
And me and Chess Liam, our team's in first place right now too. So that $12.50 of equity is going a long way.
Do you have 12? Do you have half the equity? Did you send it to him?
Yeah, I did. That was that was the second one. So the second one's actually covered. I think he covered. But Scott Fishbowl teams, I think Davis, you're up there. I'm up there. Coakley, I'm for most of us, except for maybe Peter, not there. So shout out to us for just the quality preseason stuff that
I can't take any of this. I'm having a shit year. I really am not. I'm gonna be losing a lot of money. I only got 2 FFPC teams through to the play. I'm gonna be down 5 figures easily on fantasy football this year. So I'm not gonna take that.
Davis, did I see we both
next 3 weeks?
Did you win your league in the bash, Davis? That was one of the few leagues I've won. I'm winning my sleeper leagues. I'm doing sleeper bowl in the bash.
I actually think I might just win the entire thing in the ETH bowl or whatever, because we picked Geno Smith up off of waivers, and we have the Hurts AJ Brown stack. So I think there are avenues to me getting even on the year, but I would be betting against it.
The Bash is a Soccer Dave-esque tournament that I
Is Nick
appreciated.
Part of your tree, Dave?
No, I don't think Nick's part of my tree. I don't think I can claim him. But did he create his own coin? Did he create his own token?
I don't think so. No, it's just
there is an NFT, but not a coin.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to this week's slates. Quarterbacks, kind of mentioned it in my opener. You got Joe Burrow. You got obviously Lamar and Patrick Mahomes. Trevor Lawrence, is he back? I mean, or is he arrived? I guess I should say.
I was going to say, I don't think it would be back. I think it would just be arrived.
Back from the hype of 2 years ago, and then also we got to talk about it. Although it feels dirty to Deshaun Watson in this Browns passing game. Davis, what are your takes?
I mean, my takes would be that Patrick Mahomes scored 25 fantasy points last week with 1 passing touchdown. And I think that very similarly to last week, you're just going to see a wide enough dispersal of ownership. And he's super easily playable because Watson and Sky remain, Min-Sal, the bringbacks are super obvious. I guess we're kind of hoping probably that Jordan Love plays against Chicago, because then he's going to suck up some more of that ownership. I mean, it feels like there are, I don't know, probably 8 quarterbacks in play or something like that, Peter, like way more than we've had. I mean, these slates have been so miserable the last 3 weeks in specifically, and now it feels like pretty much you can just kind of play whoever you want. Like,
right, because you have you have the 6 quarterbacks in the 3 games with a total over 50. And then that doesn't even include Tua and Geno, doesn't include Mike White as a value, doesn't include Watson. So yeah, I mean, there's so many ways to go this week.
I don't think we can include Jalen Hurts as a quarterback personally.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about him in the next section. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Tuttle.
He's more of a running back.
Unironically, I actually do think probably I won't be in on Hurts this week because the Titans just get in these rock fight games. It's so miserable to watch their defense play. Although, I mean, if he's projecting like 3% ownership or something, feels pretty good.
All right. Shall we make a DraftKings team? Tuttle, did you want to weigh in on quarterbacks? I know you're busy right now.
I wasn't listening too closely. Did people mention Herbert? Herbie is just the nuts. Herbie. Burrow's only 6,900. Yeah, I mean, when you have a team
and the late hammer game for
80%
Herbert
of plays.
I mean, he's not. He's sitting at 0 30 fantasy point games.
It's coming. It's coming.
I mean, I see it. I think the issue with him is that he's got an average depth of target of like 4.8. I mean, they're throwing it a ton, but they're not generating explosive plays. To be honest, we just got a comment about Mike White. I don't hate Kirk Cousins, Mike White, Garrett Wilson, Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkins. Like, I don't think that is a 0 EV strat.
I should also, one thing that was also in the Overzet overview, I'm just going to piece it together throughout the show. Last week, our Swolecast lineup in the T-Mobile football throwdown was actually really good. And if we had played Josh Jacobs in the flex instead of Devontae Adams, if we would have just gone the other way in that 1v1, we literally would have finished top 100 for $8 in the T-Mobile football throwdown.
I was just a simple 1v1 away from the nut.
I feel like we had Josh Jacobs on FanDuel and Wilson.
Holy shit. I won on FanDuel. I just checked this is the first time I check FanDuel.
Yeah.
We 5x'd in the Sunday Million.
That's what I'm saying.
We had Josh Jacobs.
We had Jacobs.
Holy shit, we're good. We had Garrett Wilson and Josh Jacobs. I mean, we are Wednesday savants. No one builds.
I think we went flex with Gibson, and he didn't really get there. But everybody else.
It's just literally like such a breath of fresh air to not like. There's so many good plays for us to play this week. I'm really anxious to see what like total turd Kitchen puts in our DraftKings lineup.
All right, well, let's go ahead and start. And Davis, will let you go first.
Patrick Mahomes and Sky Moore.
Oh, baby.
Oh,
Moore's not even playing that much.
No, dude. I for the first time this year, I actually mean this unironically. Sky is like it's happening. They are making a conscious effort to give him the ball as like the. Like,
are you saying that from? Are you saying that from like a data perspective, or are you saying it from watching last week's game?
Are we saying
Both.
He's in the Mecole Hardman's Kadarius Toney role now?
Yes, yeah. I think that would be the right. Like he was used on a trick play last week. He got 2 screens in the first quarter when they were still trying. He had a 40-yard gain called back by like a pretty ticky-tack Justin Watson. It wasn't even a holding penalty. It was like an illegal block penalty.
Block in the back.
I actually mean this. Like he is legit in play with Mahomes this week.
Okay, Peter.
Give me Christian Kirk against the Lions defense in the Coors Field at DFS.
We'd love to see it.
We were just talking about how all the slappies go with Zay Jones each and every week.
The slappies are going to go with Zay Jones again this week. Trust me.
So it's like their roles are the same. Zay Jones is like the safety blanket, and Kirk is like the red zone guy, basically, except Marvin Jones ended up scoring the touchdown last week.
All right, Tuttle.
Trying to figure out who I want to bring it back with. I'm going to go DeAndre Swift breakout.
Ooh. Say ooh, Davis, mush him.
We're playing guys that aren't on the field. Swift actually ran really bad last week in terms of
he did almost score.
It's either him or DJ Shark.
I'm good with Shark. Sky, I just want it on the record. Sky has 12 targets the last 2 weeks. Like, this is not a dude who's not getting targets.
Well, he's also 3.1, so it's not like he has a ton of opportunity cost, right? You have to go cheap at wide receiver.
If we're going that route, DeAndre Swift has 11 targets in the last 2 weeks.
Well, but he's 5,600.
No, I actually do like Swift, but I'm also fine going DJ Shark here.
Well, we could build the all revenge game lineup. DJ Chark revenge game against the Jags.
I didn't even think about that.
Got to factor in the.
If you do that, you got to go with.
I vote Shark over Swift total.
I'm fine with that.
All right.
You got to look at the Miami San Francisco game if you're going for the revenge lineup too. Let's go with. I feel like we need to go. I have some sort of Cincinnati exposure, and everyone's going to be looking at Njoku this week, and I'm going to be playing Hayden Hurst. No, I'm just at tight end, so I'll go with Hayden Hurst.
Honestly, amazing for Kitchen to even point. It's just incredible that Kitchen was able to point out a guy who people are actually going to play on Sunday. I'm proud of Kitchen.
That Cleveland game is going to be interesting because I think people will do the whole Chubb thing before they do the Deshaun Watson thing, and you can Kevin
Stefanski just said Njoku's dealing with a knee injury though, so we'll see.
Okay, Davis.
So I think we don't need to do. I don't think we need to do a double bring back. I'm going to go with Kenneth Walker III against the Rams. Who's worse? Rams, Texans, neutral field. What's the line?
Dude, give me the Texans in that.
The Rams stink. It is unbelievable how bad they are.
We got some money to spend on this lineup too.
Yeah, if we went with like a cheap, if we go with the Dolphins defense.
I mean, what if we just flex Kelsey?
That's fine by me. How could that be bad?
Exactly.
So we got Kenneth Walker, Kelsey. What are we doing at D?
Dolphins.
I went Dolphins for the.
That gives us 7,600. Little Dalvin if we're not playing in.
Yeah,
Jefferson,
we can play whoever we want.
300 off of Jacobs.
He's a good play.
You could even go T if you wanted to go double bring back. Yeah, I don't really know.
We need a running back.
We got Swift and Walker.
Kitchen, keep up.
We don't have Swift. Let's go Dalvin. Dalvin's fine.
I like Dalvin. Then can we upgrade defense at all?
Yeah, we can play the
Giants versus Heineke.
Yeah. Boom. Easy game. What contest are we putting this in, Peter?
We're running it back in the T-Mobile Throwdown.
T-Mobile Throwdown. Do you get free cell service for a year if you win the T-Mobile Throwdown?
That would be sick.
Do you get cell service anyways with T-Mobile? Am I right?
Kitchen, I'm very happy with my cell service.
Yeah.
Please don't. Who's your provider?
You know who my provider is.
Who, Verizon?
Of course.
Chalk.
Since day one.
Verizon Slappy.
You know.
The Verizon Slappy's
The Verizon Slappy's
You guys, this lineup is just like really bad, but it is what it is.
Why is it bad?
I love how Davis is like, we have so many good plays. I can't wait to see.
It's not a good lineup.
And then we have Christian Kirk, Sky Moore, and DJ Shark as our 3 wide receivers.
That Jacksonville Detroit game is going to be super chalky. So I don't think those are really that bad of plays.
All right.
Wow, Michael Zimmerman putting the hammer. The guy can't get stable internet, and he's trash talking Pete's provider.
That's Comcast Xfinity. That's a separate provider.
That was a thin play, Dave.
Yeah, I don't know if you got the leg to stand on there, Chief.
Yeah.
Anything I need my Verizon to have as the mobile hotspot for when the internet does go down at the home front. All right, let's talk about running backs. Dameon Pierce is one of the highest point per dollar running backs.
Absolutely not. Under no circumstances, dude. This guy
I agree with you, but the projections are saying it.
He's got 5 PPR points the last 2 weeks. Like, no chance, dude. I mean, maybe
yards back to back.
Like,
this is the defense, right? If matchups matter, if your team matchups matter, this is the matchup.
Here's where I would land on it. They're gonna get shithoused in this game. It's not even gonna be close. He's not even getting the deal with him a couple weeks ago was he was still in there in garbage time. Frickin' Dare Ogunbowale is now playing in garbage time. And again, the reason we were playing Pierce in these contests like a month ago was because DraftKings had just made the slates completely devoid of value. That's not the case this week. Zonovan Knight is cheap.
You mean Bam?
Bam Knight is cheap. We'll see what happens with the Jacksonville situation. I mean, ETN is 6.4, but if he doesn't play, Hasty, Henderson, Kenneth Walker is not even super priced up. What's the difference at this point between Latavius Murray and Dameon Pierce? I mean, seriously. It's right. Yeah. And that's not even to get to.
The difference is Latavius Murray broke off a 50-yard run.
A long run, right? Yeah. And I mean Pacheco, dude. Like they're designing.
Would you rather play Pacheco or?
I mean, I'm gonna have. I mean, Pacheco got freaking 22 carries, and they're designing passing plays for him. And he played. I mean, he only played 51% of the snaps. Like McKinnon is still getting in there. Rojo got a little bit of run.
Practice today, by the way.
Wow.
Hamstring.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, and Melvin Gordon is probably going to be active or whatever. But yeah. I'll be playing a good bit of Pacheco. Like and if this comes back to bite me and Sosa freaking clips this after Dameon Pierce has 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, whatever. If Dameon Pierce is above 10% owned, I will have 0% of him.
All right. You mentioned Zonovan Knight, a.k.a. Donovan, a.k.a. Bam. You got guys like him. You have the Jacksonville situation. You've got Pittsburgh with Najee Harris, although I think he says he's going to be fine this week. San Francisco with now, CMAC with nursing this knee injury and not sure what we're doing there. Are you looking for anything this week, Peter, to open up, flip the slate on its head?
Yeah, I mean, like if Najee was out and Jaylen Warren was back, that would be pretty interesting to me because I think Jaylen Warren is good. The ETN stuff, I think he's going to be fine. So I doubt we're going to have to deal with like a Hasty Hendo situation. Sounds like Mixon is going to be back this week. So no P. Ryan. There actually isn't a ton of slam dunk value at running back, which makes me wonder if people are going to end up on Dameon Pierce by the end of the week.
They will. It's like people have already crowned this dude like a top 5 running back in Dynasty and stuff. Like it's crazy, dude. I mean, he has like you said this in the Overzets overview like a month ago. He hasn't had 20 fantasy points since week 5. His team stinks. He's not really getting used in the passing game. I just don't see it.
The people mentioning, don't forget Brian Robinson. I think Brian Robinson could get a 1% to 2% big hat ownership boost. Like I want to click Brian Robinson. I don't even like him. I mean, that was the most incredible thing I've ever seen this season.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Raheem Mostert if he's out, like Jeff Wilson?
Mike McDaniel said today that he's trending toward playing, but another big revenge narrative there for Jeff Wilson Jr.
Well, here's my
Mostert.
Question, Peter. You have your hand in the projected ownership. How are people going to respond to Josh Jacobs' 40 burger? Like what is the field going to? And the Chargers like to give up rushing yards and stuff. Like what do people do there?
Well, I think it's going to be similar based on like the practice report stuff because it sounds like he might not practice much at all this week. And even coming off of that, like the Q tags and the not practicing like scares the shit out of people as evidenced by him being sub 5% last week. So I think it'll have to do with his practice reports.
Yeah, I can tell you what's going to happen. It's going to be the opposite of last week. So last week he was a full participant in practice all week till Friday, got the downgrade. It scared me and everyone else off of playing him. This week we know he's not going to practice. That'll be what it is. Then he'll be a full or limited practice participant on Friday, and then he won't play.
It does feel like that.
It's going to be the exact opposite.
The Zamir White week, that would be the one that busts open this slate as far as salary.
See, I wouldn't be that interested. I wouldn't be that interested in Zamir White, I don't think.
Why?
Because he's not going to catch any passes. And I think
Near
clearly at this point, I feel pretty comfortable saying Josh Jacobs he might just be a baller. I mean, he was really good in college. It just he never really produced like that in the NFL. And I don't know.
I have quite a bit of Zamir White in best ball, strictly on the thesis of Josh Jacobs playing too much.
Are you trying to get the FBI brought into this program? Like, this is like your third mention of best ball, dude. Enough.
No, I mean, everyone's talking about the advance rates. Go to spikeweek.com. You can check out your advance rates.
Don't look at your advance rates, dude. Like, it doesn't matter.
Why?
I mean, Jack Miller summed this up perfectly the other day. He said, I'm advancing 25% of my teams. That's like way better than anyone could hope. And if it ended right now, I'd be down 59% of my entries. Literally all that matters is what you do in week 17.
Yeah, but you got to have a shot.
Be a good title for a YouTube video.
You got to be in it to win it. So anything
also,
can
that
happen.
was the worst thing about the Josh Jacobs going off was literally everyone sharing their Josh Jacobs best ball exposures on Twitter. Like, I'd rather listen to you talk about your dreams than you posting your best ball exposures. No one gives a fuck.
You have, and everyone also every week, it's Kenneth Walker league winner, Josh Jacobs league winner, and next week it'll be someone else league winner. So
I think it's got to be Jacobs at this point.
Well, to Davis's point too, is again, the cruel irony of this is you don't actually want the league winners once you get to the Best Ball Mania finals. You want the teams that sneak in that the rest of the field doesn't have. Like, as much as we love Travis Kelce and he's going to drag your teams there, like, you're going to want different tight ends than Travis Kelce. The 1 week, weeks 15 through 17, that he doesn't perform, you're going to want the other tight end that goes off.
All right, so we got to move on. We got to move on, but before we do, a few boots on the ground take. Tuttle, what's happening in Green Bay? Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon. I mean, Dillon looked good last week, but it's just like, can you play either of them if they continue to split the workload?
I think you can against Chicago, right, Tuttle?
Yeah, but I mean, it's still Aaron Jones that you have to play. I don't know. It's not Jones always is a fine tournament option. Not overly interested in investing heavily in either. My real hot take, and I didn't have this one crafted before the show, but I was looking at similar prices to Bam Bam Night. My real hot take would be McKinnon outscores any of those guys down there. But I think McKinnon's a pretty decent play. I think with thinned out rotation, we know he's going to be on the field in a close game in passing situations. Running back position as a whole is pretty terrible this week, honestly.
Aren't you worried about Ronald Jones, dude? He got a target last week.
I'm not worried about Ronald Jones. I actually, I actually like McKinnon quite a bit as a pretty inexpensive way to stack up those Mahomes teams.
Okay, I'm not going to mention anything about Derrick Henry being a low-owned play this week.
That means you can't take any credit. That means you can't take any credit if he goes off, Kitchen.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be that low owned.
You don't?
I think
he's going to be heavily
10%. Owned? No, I'd say in the middle, 10 to 15%.
We just talked about a ton of running backs and Derrick Henry.
Who are you talking? Who?
Henry. What do you think he comes in, Tuttle?
He'll be good. Yeah, he'll be double digits. He won't get steamed too heavily. But the
reason why he might be double digits is because of the Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's got to be the narrative now, right? Philadelphia isn't very good against the run.
Which brings
that's a big talking point right now. Is this fella Jordan Davis? It's like a nose tackle.
Mhm.
They miss him
From
real bad
Georgia.
or something. Yeah. Something about that.
And getting guys like Ndamukong Suh to come suit up after being away from the game for 6 months. But on the other side, we're talking about revenge games, big time. A guy that cannot stop tweeting and social media, everything else about the Titans, AJ Brown playing against the Titans.
I totally believe this, Dave. I think this is a good take.
Like, it's not just like someone who's regular. He's very emotional about the Titans. And
I mean, he seemed upset to be traded, and who can blame him?
Yeah, right. Being traded from the Titans to the Eagles. But no, I think he has like been super emotional on like whatever involves the Titans. So does this help him? Does it hurt him? You're saying it helps him, Peter. Let's get inside your head.
Well, I mean,
you got to do the whole bit, Dave. Dave, you got to do the whole. You got to set him up. You can't just. I need you to set the stage.
Okay. It's actually a good one. Peter, I want you to imagine yourself as a wide receiver entering his 5th year. The team that drafted you, that you have invested in, they have invested in you, their fans, all of a sudden they trade you away on draft night, replace you with someone who they call AJ Brown 2.0. They send you to the city of brotherly love. Are you loving it? To start out, you are, but you still cannot get that old team out of your head. And this week, in week 13, you get to face that old team to see what exactly they are missing. You are AJ Brown.
The only thing that stands in my way of dropping 150 and 2 touchdowns on the team that betrayed me is a carne asada bowl at Chipotle that causes me to puke my guts out for the entire evening and pop a blood vessel in my eye.
Your eye, yeah.
But if I can just stay away from Chipotle, even though I got a free guac in the app and a free delivery, it's going to be really hard for me to pass up on. I am going to shove it down Mike Vrabel's throat. I'm going to shove it down Ryan Tannehill's throat. And after the game, I'm going to go do the little gesture next to Treylon Burks just to put it.
I mean, if that happened, that would be my. If he too smalled Treylon Burks, that would be my favorite moment of the NFL season. If he scores a touchdown, runs to number 16 Treylon Burks, and gives him the too small, that would be. I would buy an AJ Brown jersey. I mean, that's just so beautiful.
I'm telling you though, he is so petty that something's gonna happen. Like either he's gonna like just go off and just rub it in the faces, or he's gonna like not do that great and go off on the sideline on his own teammates. Like something is going to happen. Just have to see what that is. All right. Other wide receiver takes, because it seems like a cheapy wide receiver week this week, Davis.
Well, I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown, stone chalk. We'll see what ends. Why DraftKings, bro? He doesn't need to be 7,100. I promise you can break him through that glass ceiling. It'll be okay. Like make us pay $7,800 for him. Kind of interested to see what happens with T and Chase. If Chase does in fact play, like is T actually going to hold it like 15% PO and Chase at 5? In which case Chase, obviously like a huge smash. And then you're right. I mean, I think there are plenty of cheap guys to play. Garrett Wilson, the aforementioned slappy favorite, Zay Jones. People keep playing Nico Collins. I probably won't be part of that group, but plenty of people will probably play Deshaun, Cooper, Njoku, Nico Collins. Kendall Hinton. I think Kendall Hinton had like 8 touches or something last week, including carries. Matt Collins, 7 targets per game in games that both Waller and Renfro haven't played. I like Sky Moore quite a bit. Richie James as like the only slot wide receiver left on the Giants after Wan'Dale gets injured. And how about this one? Do you ever think you'd see Deontay Johnson at $5,200 on DraftKings and have less than 0 interest in playing him? This dude, I just wanted to look up how bad he's been this year. Not only does this guy have 0 touchdowns on the year, he has 0 100-yard games. I mean, what has Deontay Johnson been doing all year? Were the people that were shading him, were they correct the whole time, Peter?
He might be the only person in the entire world who misses Ben Roethlisberger right now.
I mean, George Pickens is the alpha there, right? I mean,
well, and even Pat Freiermuth is the one who's commanding the targets over the middle these days.
Yeah.
Like he's fully cucked Deontay Johnson. Yeah, Deontay Johnson's just been a colossal bust this year.
I think Ian tweeted this. Maybe it was Dwayne. He is number 1 in the NFL in negative expected points. So like points you should have gotten with where your touches came on the field and the amount of points you actually got. Deontay Johnson, number 1 in
that one play last
points.
week where he could have just cut up field for a first down, instead like went back somehow 5 yards, trying to get around. It was just so bad. And then he obviously still has issues with the drops. What about Amari Cooper, though? We kind of mentioned the Deshaun Watson effect.
I think
there's some level of uncertainty there.
Yeah, I think everyone's going to have in their head what just happened to the Dolphins against them, and Tyreek and Waddle not really getting there, and just you wonder how much passing volume is really going to be here in a game where they'll be so content to just run all over the Texans.
See, I can't figure it out in my head. I think like a normal slate, this game could get ownership, or like Cleveland's passing attack could get relatively steamed. But we talked about all the high totals here with Vegas Chargers, Kansas City, Cincinnati, Jacksonville, Detroit. I think all those get pushed ahead of this game. And I mean, it's a good game to attack from a passing perspective. I think everyone will just assume they run the ball down their throats, which I think is probably the most likely thing to happen. But who knows if they want to unleash Watson. I will say Amari Cooper always gets ownership though. So I'd like. Is
this game at home, or is it a road game?
Road, but in a dome.
Donovan Peoples-Jones.
No, it's in Houston where Deshaun Watson.
I know, but Amari
Amari
can't sleep on the road, dude. He can't figure it out.
Yeah.
I will say Njoku out would help in terms of, I feel like if Njoku's available and he's the chalk tight end, then like it's just an easy stack, right? With Watson, Amari, and Njoku. Where if Njoku's out, then there's a little bit more flexibility around it.
Yeah, I've got a terrible take with a guy who's trending up in targets and is only 3.3K for the Browns this week. And it's kind of gross, but it's David Bell.
He just hit a season high in raw snaps this last week. I actually, David, I don't hate it.
Wow.
6'1".
David, wow.
Kitchen, you're having a great show.
I'm
for that one.
I bet
you're really picking up my slack.
Happened. I know what happened. He must have had 13 minutes today to listen to JJ's podcast. That has to be the only explanation.
I have David Bell. I didn't want to say anything, but I've got David Bell on plenty of best ball teams. But I always listen to JJ's podcast.
But you took notes this week.
No, I didn't. I was driving, of course. But yeah, he talked about David Bell's trend. This was on his trend show, and he's trending up.
I absolutely knew it.
I wasn't going to get it from your Twitter thread, that's for sure.
No.
Wait, who's Watson been throwing the ball the most to? Well, what I guess
who's least creeped out by Deshaun Watson? Like who has the worst morals amongst the Browns that are like
who's also a really shitty person that
who's an asshole on the Browns? That dude is gonna have great chemistry with Deshaun Watson.
So you have DPJ is the Fuller, Amari is the DeAndre Hopkins, and Anthony Schwartz is Kiki Kuti.
Those are the guy that we spend 9 years waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Oh,
there
Kiki.
it is.
All right. Looking at some of these
Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt is the guy. There we go.
Right.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Handshake meme.
Watson,
DFS
Kareem
czar
Hunt
is like
stacks, baby.
DFS czar. He nailed it. He knew. Kareem Hunt 3 touchdown receptions this week.
Okay. Looking at some of these other prices, Elijah Moore only 3,700 against Minnesota.
So I would like to play him, but he still only played 35% of the snaps. So like he obviously looked good in the snaps he did get, but it's not like they didn't decide to make him a full-time player again.
I was surprised at the first run of things that Keenan Allen wasn't showing up a whole lot. I mean, he'll be owned, so maybe that's not under the radar. But I was just surprised by that.
I just am so sick of the Chargers. Like no team, no team inspires me less than the Los. And they're
you just got to remember it's the Raiders, man. The Raiders are so.
I don't know.
Did you see Herbert had a 4.2 ADOT, did 47 attempts.
I just said that earlier in the show. He said he's got a sub 5 ADOT. It's just
disgusting.
Yeah, they ruined Brandon Staley, man.
You got to pick out a receiver in this 5K range. I'm going to give you some options. Christian Watson, George Pickens, Brandon Cooks, Adam Thielen, and we'll toss in Donovan Peoples-Jones for.
You're not going to toss in Garrett Wilson?
Yeah, I was going to say Garrett Wilson's the one I picked.
I thought I did. I thought it was one I first. Well, okay, I said 5.2. He's 5.3, but we'll toss in Garrett Wilson as well.
I mean, the problem with Garrett Wilson is he's
what is this?
Oh, he teed him up for that one.
The Giphy of Garrett Wilson.
Wow.
Wait, who did he Giphy last week?
Yeah, who did he Giphy last week?
Was Mixon 2 weeks ago? No, I think Mixon didn't play last week. Was
Mixon
it Samaje?
3 or 4 weeks ago.
Sosa, come on screen. Tell us who you Giphy'd last week. Don't
no
lie.
way.
Either.
No way he remembers.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does.
Because he's on a cork board.
I don't remember.
Well, it must not have been that memorable if it didn't.
We've had a Waddle, we've had a Kamara, we've had a Mixon.
I really don't remember.
Last week being Thanksgiving slate threw me off, so yeah, I don't remember.
I remember because I was like, we're going to skip this position, whatever position we skipped, and he threw up the
I guess
in that position.
I'll be right back. I'll find it.
Okay. All right.
Perfect.
Thank you. We need to know what
it was Pollard. One-eyed Jack is right. It was Pollard. Yeah.
All right.
That one whiffed.
That's a big whiff. All
That's
right.
what we call it. No.
Yeah. Dunk on yourself with a clip. So good. Get to work.
All right. Let's go to FanDuel and make a lineup. Any other wide receiver takes, though, before we move on?
Feels like no one is going to play DK Metcalf this week, just like the Seahawks passing game in general. And I have a feeling DK Metcalf is a guy who likes to put extra dirt on top of a grave. And knowing how much he and Jalen Ramsey don't like each other, Kitchen, am I selling you on this narrative? Just you give DK Metcalf a little
Kitchen
6'6", 120 and 2 against the dead Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah, I feel like we aren't talking about the high end receivers this week. You know, we're talking about you got to have cheapy wide receivers to make it work.
Justin Jefferson will be sub 10% probably.
Jefferson, even Tyreek in that game. I
don't think people are going to get up to Tyreek.
No, I thought we were going to get a Chase Claypool take from David today.
Ooh, that does feel very Kitchen.
Oh, it's Pringle. It's Pringle. He's the Mooney replacement.
Man, that poor Bears team. Is Justin Fields not playing this week, right?
He limited practice today.
They've got a bye next week, so I'm thinking that he probably doesn't play this week, and they just hold him out till after the bye.
I saw a tweet about it.
Seems very logical.
All right, so let's go to FanDuel.com and Tuttle will let you start.
There's no
because last week we let you start and you're like, no, I'm ready. I'm ready. And then your first pick was Josh Jacobs.
Oh man, you know who's? Remember who we bashed you for last week, Kitchen?
Samaje.
That could really be a handful of players.
I'm not picking this guy, but I'm surprised to see he is showing up as a good play on early RG projections. I mean, this was the guy that Peter did his mentalist act on.
Oh, Kyron?
Yeah, Kyron. He's only 5,500.
No chance, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why
Did we?
I'm not picking him.
terrible?
I'm not picking
Okay.
him. I'm just saying he's the guy that's showing up early on some of this stuff. I will go with Aaron Jones. I guess I'll do the Packers thing.
Homer.
What does it feel like being a Packers fan right now, Total?
Yeah,
I'm not a
seriously.
Packers fan. Is like in proximity.
You are a Packers fan.
No.
You went to their playoff game when they played Colin
I've been to Lambeau
Kaepernick
Field
in like
once.
sub-zero weather.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good story. Life's about being able to tell good stories and having good adventures. I appreciate
And
that.
and editing NBA projected ownership at 1 in the afternoon.
When Shea Gilgeous-Alexander gets declared out.
Okay, we got Jones. Peter, you're next.
Yeah, let's get Jefferson in on this one. Only 700 more than Amon-Ra on FanDuel.
Wow, 8,700 for Justin Jefferson. I like it, Peter.
Just play the best
David?
plays and print.
Okay, so we got Jones, Jefferson, Davis. Did you pick?
No, I will do Tyler Conklin as our correlative piece there. 70% route
Ew.
participation and 5 straight. Is that our smash play of the week? Is that the ooh play of the week?
That's the ooh play of the week. Okay, so we got Jones, Jefferson, Conklin. No one's picked a quarterback yet. Highly unlike this to leave it to Soccer Day for the quarterback call, but
Dangerous game we're playing here.
We're walking the tightrope here.
I'll actually go with Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown.
All right, it's a good play on FanDuel.
Wow. I
Okay,
mean,
Tuttle.
Kitchen not saying Henry, playing the other side of the stack, a man who turned his back on your city. It's incredible.
What I'm trying to get a feel for salary cap here. What defense are we going with?
I think we go the Bears and just hope. I think we go Bears and hope they start Jordan Love.
I think
Ravens.
I'm not putting out.
Not
I'm
on
not
this
putting-
team only because we got Aaron Jones.
Oh, okay, you're right.
I don't
Just
think
go
it's
with
a terrible
Raiders. Raiders at 3.1. Why not?
Yeah,
At home.
Raiders or Chargers.
sure. Raiders are fine.
That way you get
Okay.
swap options too, you know?
What do we have? 6,300 for 3 spots?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
Who's it
some.
to?
I mean,
It's Tuttle.
it is to me.
Okay.
There's not a ton here.
There's Zonovan.
I'm not
You
playing
mean
Zion.
You
Bam.
want to go with
Bam.
the Just Donovan?
I'll play McKinnon here on noted PPR site.
Wow.
yeah, noted.
It's happening. He's going to
Ew.
touchdown this week. This is my terrible take. Bash this pick all you want. It's going to
No,
happen.
I
Tuttle,
can't.
Are
I
you
can't
going in
hate
the
it.
Discord and doing a global swap if McKinnon doesn't play?
Just swap
Is
to
there a reason
Kyron
he's
and
not
find the
playing?
600.
He didn't
somewhere.
practice today with a hamstring injury.
Totally missed that. Oof.
Oof.
Dang
Or
it.
just play Zonovan.
I'm not playing Zonovan. I played. Okay. I'm surprised David doesn't know this. You know, Zonovan Knight was like Ben's like big college football guy, basically the last 2 or 3 years. So he would always write him up
Zamir
on the
White.
expert survey. He would always just tout the shit out of Zonovan Knight.
So this
And
is
I played way too much of him in college football DFS to understand that he's not a very talented person. Doesn't mean he can't fall into the end zone a few times.
He's played his
Um,
way into the lineup according to coaches.
I mean,
From Salem.
yeah, I'm not playing Zonovan Knight. I can tell you that much.
All right.
Did not know about the McKinnon thing, so let me take somebody else that is relatively cheap, and I will go with. I should just do the Kyron for the bid equity.
Well,
But I'm not going
You got to
to.
change out defenses if so. All right. Do we need to skip you?
There's
Tuttle, and
no
come back?
easy pick here. No, I'm gonna go.
Okay.
I'll go. EPJ.
Okay.
I mean, it's not easy. You guys, let's fucking jam in Jalen Hurts, Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown,
This is the most fired up I've seen Tuttle in months.
Well,
I've never seen
Tuttle so
this
offended.
animated.
So
Yeah.
I mean, who the hell am
something
I
has
supposed
happened
to
in the
take?
soccer
You guys-
game.
I
that
don't
we-
think McKinnon is bad. Why like McKinnon is fine.
I just don't want to send the global alert. I like McKinnon.
Don't worry, Davis doesn't send the global alerts.
Yeah,
anyways.
Tuttle, it's fine. It's fine, buddy.
All right, give me McKinnon then. if he doesn't play, I don't know what the fuck you're gonna do, but
You play Ronald Jones, obviously.
Melvin Gordon, let's be honest.
Imagine the
Okay,
perfect storm, Peter. McKinnon doesn't play. Melvin Gordon's not ready to go. What if Ronald Jones is who you needed?
see, and now you guys won't even understand it because I just saved you so much salary, so you have easy picks to make now. I should have just jammed in some fucking $8,000 dude. Maybe you guys.
Tuttle's on Vega too.
Tuttle is jazzed up, dude.
Let's bring it back with too small. Traylon Burks.
He's too small, bro. Oh, perfect.
Oh.
We have $7,900 in flex. Thanks, Tuttle. I'll take.
Oh man,
Joe
have
Waddle.
it. Yeah, just
Oh,
whoever
I
you
love how
fucking
we have
want because I
7,900
sacrificed
in
myself.
flex, but Tuttle said we were so jammed in that he couldn't make any sort of running back work. there.
Yeah.
See, I should have done Derrick Henry. That would have been the smart thing, and then just screwed you guys over.
You should have. Since when did you care about the other three in this as far as the lineups go?
This has always been a selfish exercise. Everyone's just trying to get theirs.
Right. Okay. All right. Real quickly, tight end. You mentioned Conklin. You talked about Njoku. Obviously, Kelsey. Mark Andrews. Is anyone going to play him after he just drops gimmies in the end zone?
David, I literally, for my mental health, I can't talk about Mark Andrews anymore. It's like it's so bad.
You know it's so bad when Davis was reaching across the aisle to have a pleasant interaction with Hermsmeyer on Twitter about Mark Andrews. That's how bad it's been.
I thought he and Rick Road may have come together for an anti-Andrews take. Okay.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. Like I have to be running at a 100% clip of needing like roughly 8.5 PPR points for Mark Andrews and him just refusing to get it. Just being like, under no circumstances am I going to give you the points that you need. You played Traylon Burks over Garrett Wilson. You have to eat that shit, buddy. Like, it's horrible.
Yeah, oh man. It's so bad too because of how close for season long and best for how close he was to Kelsey and Pitts and Waller, and just only one of those four getting there. Anytime I feel bad about the season I'm having, I'm imagining the dude who took Kyle Pitts at 104 in the FFPC main event and how he must be feeling about his choices.
If you want to ask me how it feels, David, just ask.
The man.
Peter, any tight end takes from you? Noah Fant, 3K.
God, are you trying to bait me with a little Noah Fant love? I am having to start Noah Fant in the sleeper bowl where I lost Kyle Pitts, so that is particularly relevant to me. I mean, I like Freiermuth this week against Atlanta. I think he's a pretty nice play there. I don't have much more about anything else.
Just saw Chega Conco is still only 2.6K this week. Five targets last week. Last week. I mean, what do you expect out of your tight end these days?
Foster Moreau continues to play like every single down for the Raiders. TJ Hawkinson is like very, very involved in this Vikings offense. Like they traded for him and they're like, buddy, we are riding you to zero. Like I think he's got 39 targets in his 4 games as a Viking. Like it's crazy. So he seemed, I do actually think that game is pretty decent for DFS. And in our disgusting moral ambiguity bowl, Jordan Akins has led the Texans in receiving 2 of the last 3 weeks. If you want your really gross sexual assault bring back with Deshaun Watson.
The sexual assault bring back.
Sexual assault.
That's not a thing. Please don't cancel us. All right.
I'm not. No, I just okay. Imagine
you
a
can't
world
call
where
it
you
the
win.
sexual assault.
No, imagine
Yeah,
a world where you win a GPP this week, but you have to do the screenshot with Deshaun Watson double stack and a bring back, and you're like, "Yep, I knew."
Davis,
Just keeping that to yourself.
we are down so bad that I will screenshot the hell out of a Deshaun Watson lineup.
Yeah. This might be a worse take than roster
All right.
shit.
All right. Tuttle, what was your terrible take again?
McKinnon.
All right. Even with the practice and missing practice?
I'm not in tune with the practice.
Tuttle,
stuff.
will you issue a global alert, not for the lineup, but for your terrible take if McKinnon doesn't go?
After having Newton, maybe.
He's
gonna go.
I promise
I
you,
trust my
if you
guy.
tweet it out, I will make sure it gets at least a dozen likes. We'll use my own
Shout
platform.
out
Oh,
Kitchen
that's-
for getting 30 likes with your Netherlands dad joke on Twitter the other day, too.
What was that one?
It's from Austin Powers, the great Nigel Powers said, "There's only two things I can't stand: one, people that are intolerant of other people's cultures, and two, the Dutch."
Didn't even
Just a
attribute the
classic
quote
line.
either. Just took full credit and just. I should have known you getting 30 likes was directly written by someone else.
Did you not know that was an Austin Powers quote?
I gave you credit, Kitchen. I thought you came up with that. I'm sorry.
No.
You should take that as a
Definitely not.
compliment, me thinking that you wrote that.
Hey, thank you. Okay. Shout out to
I have a
everyone
heart
that's
out,
still watching. Thanks for all the comments on the beard. It is going tomorrow. So
Was there a single comment, Dave?
I'm sure people were thinking it
Why
at
are you
least.
shaving your beard? Because November's over.
It's not going to be November. It's going to be December. So, Davis, final
Did
thoughts.
you execute no nut November correctly? Did you make it?
Final thoughts. Angel Di Maria just tried to score directly from a corner kick in an elimination match where if they lose, I mean, it's one of the ballsiest things.
Do we have a penalty here though? I think we got a
Yeah.
penalty.
Oh,
They did. They're
Messi's
pointing to
on
the
the
spot.
barrier.
Obviously,
All right.
I just had to swap off a Messi in all these tournaments because my teams are dead. So this is really just preparation for what I'm going to be feeling Sunday.
Hang
Peter,
on.
final
Breaking
thoughts?
news. Yeah,
Dude,
breaking
Davis.
news. DraftKings Rainmakers launches Week 13 contest with a special onset experience with Kevin Hart as the top prize.
Hey,
Wait, hold up.
you got to go for
What-
that, Peter. You and Kevin
What's
Hart.
the top prize? I'm.
An
They're
onset
calling it
appear-
users to enter the Kevin verse.
Oh, you get to like go. You get to go on the stage with him during like one of
The
his
on the
details
set.
of the onset experience are limited, but according to the announcement, when Kevin Hart's involved, we expect a lot of laughs and a good time. Maybe also a super comfortable couch too.
Oh, all right. Was that your final thought, Peter?
No, my final thought is I
Oh, no,
apologize with the Overzet overview. Tech snafu. I had a bad show. It's also going to be my last show for multiple weeks. I love you guys. I appreciate you, and we'll see you never.
All right. All right. Well, we appreciate you too.
Pete, did you even mention that this might be your last Swolecast of the year?
No, you didn't.
Just right now.
We don't
Just at the
honor
very end.
paternity leave, just so you're aware.
Yeah,
We're
what
not a
what
progressive
is the
company.
deal with my time cards, Kitchen? Do I get to bill for
You
will
gotta be
I still get my
full-time.
health insurance from Better Collective?
No. After Tuttle's 4 kids and my 3 kids is when they decided to start doing paternity 8 weeks paternity leave. So all right, that will do it for this week's show. Leave a like, comment. Thanks, Sosa, for producing this show, and we'll see you next week with a special guest who we're not going to say who it is because
because we totally know who
we
it
don't
is.
know yet. So we'll see you next week here on
Hey, Tremaine, you busy?
SoulCast.com.